Here's how I made this smooth, yummy, and creamy tasty Greek yogurt with just 5,000 naira. So, if you want to achieve this kind of texture, then you need to watch this video till the very end. So the first thing you want to get is your bowl. Then get your whisk. It's about 1,000 naira in the market, and your measuring cups. Now the measuring cups, I bought it and it comes in different sizes. So you're going to be using the bigger one. Then you get your yogurt starter. So this is one derica of lactose milk, and it is sold for 3,000 naira. The starter is 2,000 naira. That is making it a total of 5,000 naira. So you're going to be measuring 4 cups of that milk into your clean white bowl, transparent bowl. All right. And you're going to ensure that your measuring is also accurate. Once you have successfully done that, you're going to boil your water. Do not boil the water and keep. Make sure the water is already boiling hot, and you're going to measure 4 cups of that hot boiling water. Remember, hot boiling water, and going in with your whisker and whisk until you get a very smooth consistency. Continue whisking and raise your whisk up to see if you can see any lumps on it. And if you do not see any, this is when you go in with your cold, warm, lukewarm water. So that is why I'm using a pure water. So you see, you're going in again with 4 cups of that lukewarm water. Always ensure you're using a very clean water. Don't use the tap water except your tap water is purified. So the tap water taste on the yogurt is kind of weird, but it is fine. I understand that some person's tap water can be different. So make sure you're counting your 4 cups of the lukewarm water correctly. And once that is complete, you go in again with your whisk and whisk properly. So this is where you keep whistling. You will see I keep raising the whisk up to see if I'm getting any lumps. But so once I've gotten the consistency I want and the milk is looking good in my own eyes, I'm just going to go ahead and get this sieve. You can use a mesh cloth or you can use this one. This one also works. So you can see all the lumps that were settled down, which we initially did not see. I'm going to go back and pour the milk inside of that bucket because that is what I want to use for the fermentation of my yogurt. So now it is time to mix our yogurt starter. Remember, you do not mix your yogurt starter directly inside of your milk so it does not settle down and you may not be able to whisk it properly. You're going to take a cup of that milk and pour it in an empty rubber, pour in your yogurt starter, and again whisk properly before pouring it into the main yogurt. Make sure you have whisked properly. And now, before pouring it, this is where we're going to do the temperature test. So you're going to put your hand inside of the yogurt and see if you can withstand the heat for 10 seconds, right? And if you can, it is now okay to pour your yogurt starter. Please remember, you do not put your yogurt starter when the milk is very cold or when the milk is very hot. It has to be warm for it to be able to ferment very well. So once you pour in your yogurt starter, the next thing you do is to close your milk immediately so that it does not evaporate out. This is where people get it wrong, leaving the milk open for too long. You're going to get thick nylons or thick bags that you tie your yogurt. So you can see I tied it with thick nylon, about 2 of them, and I also went ahead to use a thick fabric to tie it. Now you're going to set a timer. I set a timer for 12 hours. Yes, you can set for 14 hours or 13 hours, but you can set for 12 hours. So because my fridge is cold, I do not want to incubate it inside of my fridge. I put it into my eco lag. Now our yogurt is ready and it's exactly 12 hours. So I'm trying to bring our yogurt out. So let's see what this looks like and how beautifully this comes out. Okay, make sure you're putting it in a very warm place, and that was why I put it inside of my box and I kept it in my wardrobe. You seeing what our yogurt is looking like? Oh my goodness, the surface of this yogurt alone is satisfying. At this point I was already dancing that, oh, my yogurt did not come out bad, it came out thick. But if you want it to ferment very well, you can leave it longer. So I took it to my kitchen and this is where I started to sieve out the whey so that I can turn it into a Greek yogurt. Remember, this is Greek yogurt. If you want to do a normal yogurt, you do not need to go through this process. You just whisk it directly inside of the bowl and you begin to add all your flavors, your vanilla. No, after putting it inside of the cheese cloth, now I'm going to put it inside of my fridge so that it can stay there for too long. Now 4 hours later, I brought it out, and this is the way, and this is what our Greek yogurt is looking like. So the way I'm keeping it because I want to use it to, mix my Greek yogurt or turn it for when I'm ready to start taking it. So this is the point where I start putting it back into the bowl so that I can put it inside of my fridge. Now this is the quantity of a 1 derica, that is 4 cups of milk, and this is the quantity. Now for a Greek yogurt, you can use vanilla flavor or any kind of flavor you like, but I like to use sugar. Now and I also go in with toppings, the parfait toppings. You can get them in the supermarket, but do not put sugar inside of the one you want to put inside of your fridge. Only put sugar to the one you want to take immediately. Now some persons like to whisk all the yogurt and then pour it inside a bowl before putting it inside the fridge, but I do not like to do like that. I like to put it exactly the way it is in the bowl in the fridge. Then whenever I'm ready to take my yogurt, I can scoop out a particular quantity inside of my plate or a bowl, and then whisk it and start putting in my sugar and my toppings so that I can enjoy my yogurt the way I want it or the way I like to enjoy it. So let me know in this video, did you gain a thing or two? Are you going to be trying my method out? Bye, and I'll see you in my next video.